The moon hung low over the floating fairy palace, its silver glow mingling with the lavender hues of the queen's magic. Queen Seraphina stood at the edge of the enchanted pond, her face calm but resolute. The words of an ancient spell rolled from her lips, each syllable weaving itself into the air, pulling the night into motion. Dark clouds swirled above the palace, heavy and powerful, yet drawn into harmony by her voice. The water of the pond trembled before bursting into a radiant column of blue energy, spiraling into the sky with a brilliance that shook the very fabric of the realm. Winds rose, scattering petals and fairy dust across the glowing forest. Trees bowed, their leaves shimmering like silver coins, while the crystalline walls of the palace pulsed in rhythm with the magic's beat. Still, the queen stood unmoving, her flowing purple gown alive in the storm, her lavender wings scattering trails of starlight. This was not a spell of destruction, but of passage. A prayer of surrender and a blessing of destiny. For within the golden royal chamber above, her daughter, Princess Elara, lay dreaming in peaceful slumber, unaware of what awaited her. Elara was radiant even in sleep, her golden curls spilling across silk pillows, her gown glimmering in shades of turquoise and sapphire. The crown upon her brow caught the candlelight and cast tiny reflections across the chamber's crystal vines. She had always been beloved, kind-hearted, graceful, and full of wonder. But she had not yet been tested by the burden of rule, and the queen knew the kingdom could not remain sheltered forever. As the queen's final word left her lips, the magic reached its height. A hum filled Elara's chamber. Blue light gathered around her, wrapping her in a spiral of shimmering brilliance. Slowly, she rose from the bed, her wings glowing brighter, until her form dissolved into a shower of stardust. The room fell silent, only lingering sparkles drifting softly through the air, the echo of her presence. In the Hall of Mirrors, Queen Seraphina felt her strength wane. She turned toward the great silver-framed mirror, its lavender gemstones glowing faintly in sympathy. For a moment, she saw her daughter's reflection shimmering within it, smiling softly as though whispering farewell. Seraphina's heart ached. She placed her hand on the polished frame, her face clear and filled with quiet sadness. She had sent her daughter away into the unknown, guided only by magic, to return not as a sheltered princess but as a true heir to the fairy crown. The chamber was silent except for the whisper of wind and the faint flicker of candlelight. The queen stood alone, her wings lowered, her gown heavy with the stillness of sorrow. A royal table stood near the mirror, holding the enchanted scrolls of the ancient spell, proof of the sacrifice she had made. She gazed at them, then at her reflection again. Behind the sorrow in her eyes flickered something deeper, hope. For the Queen Kn.